So you all know the myth of Sisyphus, right? How he tricked Thanatos, the god of death, into letting him escape the underworld, only to be punished by being forced to roll a boulder up a hill for eternity. But that's not the story I'm going to tell you today. No, today we're exploring another myth, one that I find just as interesting as the last. And this story takes place after Sisyphus has already died once and is hanging out in the underworld. You see, when Sisyphus was alive, he had a wife. And one day, when he was tending to his flock, a lion came up to him and started eating them. So Sisyphus did what any reasonable person would do and ran away. He then went home, told his wife what happened, and told her not to bury him or perform any funeral rites when he dies. Instead, he told her to throw him in a ditch outside of town, and she should take the bones that were in the house and throw them in the fire. Well, Sisyphus died a second time, and his wife did as he asked. But when he arrived in the underworld, he started screaming and shouting because he wasn't supposed to be there. You see, when someone died, their soul would go to the underworld, but their body would remain in the mortal world for funeral rites to be performed. Someone close to them would have to bury them or cremate them, and their bones would be placed in a special urn and buried in the family home. But Sisyphus's wife didn't do any of that, so his soul was prematurely taken. So Sisyphus went to Persephone, the queen of the underworld, and told her that she made a mistake and that he wasn't supposed to be dead. And seeing as he was a good friend of her father, Hades, king of the underworld, she let him return to the mortal world with one little caveat. She let him return, but he wasn't allowed to return to the underworld voluntarily. When Sisyphus got back to his house, he found that his wife had remarried. So he went back to the house of his in-laws and told them what had happened. And they all went to the outskirts of town where he had told his wife to throw his bones. They dug up the bones, placed them in an urn, and buried it in his family home. Then Sisyphus lived out the remainder of his life, eventually dying a third time. And when he went to the underworld, Persephone had the final say, and she sent him to Tartarus, the part of the underworld where he spent eternity rolling his boulder up a hill, only to have it roll down every time he got to the top. Man, I really do love these weird little myths that flesh out some of the bigger, more well-known myths. It's just so much fun. So if you like this kind of content, please subscribe.